Hey y'all, it's Jeremy. I figure I should probably maybe start documenting a few things since I have been diagnosed with epilepsy the week of my birthday. I have been taking Lamictal for the past couple of weeks, and I won't say who or where, but I am also getting somebody to get me some medical marijuana until the day after tomorrow, when I can go to Doc MJ in Jacksonville to get my medical marijuana for epilepsy. Might be a smart idea to document that for my own research purposes, and as well as to better help others that might be going through what I'm going through. I am 41, I just turned 41, and I've been diagnosed with epilepsy. So as of right now, I am scheduled to get my medical marijuana a day after tomorrow. I gotta go onto my email account, which I'll document here in a second, but fill out some paperwork. But I've done my initial phone call interview with them and paid them their money. I believe it was a one-time fee. So I don't think I have to go back for like a second interview or a second appointment like some have. We'll all see when I have to go in. Hopefully they let me document it for other epileptics or other people that might be needing to go through the process. Now, I also have PTSD, but I could get away with not using PTSD as a reason to get medical marijuana, and I didn't want to use it as a reason. But ever since the epilepsy has begun, it's not something I can put off anymore. I need any and all relief that I can get to keep from having any seizures or minimizing any seizures that I might have, so that SUDEP is less likely to happen for me, which is sudden unexpected death in epileptics, I believe is what they call it, something to that effect. It's where anybody that has epilepsy dies, and there's no other explanation for the death other than the epilepsy itself. So that's high probability with me because of my age and because I'm not used to it, whereas the majority of the people that are diagnosed with epilepsy have been dealing with it all of their lives, or a good majority of their lives, and they're adjusted well by this time in their age. I am not. My body's not, my brain isn't. And so yeah, I'm going to be going to get some of this, which is it's an oil concentrate. It's an oil concentrate and marijuana, THC, and a little bit of it of C.B.D. in there. I will be getting more when I get my own and legally, versus through somebody that I might know who has access to this. But I will be getting more C.B.D. products and more milligrams once I'm able to get that. So that'll be a good thing. But it goes into this vaporizer here. Just easy as that. It's got a magnetic bottom, and all you do is just drop it in. It's got a little window here where you can see how much oil or product is left in there, and simple as that. It's 850 milligrams of, I believe this is Chemdog. This is a hybrid indica and sativa. I believe it's on the higher end on the sativa side than the indica. I like a good hybrid. However, I think with the epilepsy, the indica is probably going to be more beneficial to me. I don't know, it's going to be trial and error until I can figure everything out. But I wanted to go ahead and start getting things documented before I go in to get the medical marijuana and go through that process on a face-to-face basis with the medical marijuana doctor that I'll be seeing. So, a little background. About a year ago, I had a grand mal seizure, or it might have been a drop seizure, but it might have been both. I don't know, whatever. I'm still new at this. And then the next day, I had a drop seizure where I just kind of fell over. I was urged to go to the ER, which I did. It was a Friday. They were concerned, and so they admitted me, and during the weekend they did their best to take all the tests that they could take, other than a sleep-deprived EEG, which I'm still not sure why they did not do that, seeing I was there in the hospital and they could have monitored me better while I was there to do that, but they didn't. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I don't believe I had any seizures while I was in there anyhow. All the tests came back normal. I was, perfectly healthy, just as I thought I was. And okay, no reason, no explanation, no damage that can be seen through a CAT scan or an MRI, and no real explanation as to why, other than just a little bit of stress due to a friend's death that I had experienced. A friend of mine had died, Bobby Quintana, and I had one. That's when I had it, so I didn't have any more, and during which time I had enrolled into school to get a medical degree in as a doctor of physical therapy. I was always fascinated by the brain and the brain's ability to affect the body and how it affects the body through, electrical signals that are built up and charged from the heart and the brain combined. I have theories and I have a lot of, knowledge of some things, but I just needed to go further and take it into the collegiate area, and really get into the academics of it all and start putting on paper and recording what I've got and what I'm learning, so I can be a better doctor. And a week into my second semester, I started having seizures again. So, as much as I feared epilepsy, I kind of knew at this point that it was probably something that I have. I'm not sure why yet, but there's a couple of possibilities as to why I have it. I'm trying to narrow things down on my own and with my doctor's help, but it's proving to be a little difficult. I'm suspecting it is with every epileptic almost. So regardless of my fears, I went to my primary care, Dr. Sakali, and I got him to refer me to a neurologist, and I'm not sure I like this guy. I wish I'd have maybe did some research on him before I saw him instead of afterwards, but when I came out of the office, I was angry. I was mad because he didn't ask enough questions. I don't think he got he didn't get like a medication history, or he didn't ask me if I was taking any medication. Had he asked, I would have told him that I was taking a couple of different things and for what reasons. But anyway, regardless, I scheduled an EEG, a sleep-deprived EEG, because it hadn't been done yet, and I was adamantly against trying to diagnose me through the use of drugs, which I still don't understand, because, when I went to the hospital last year for the first seizure that I had, the neurologist that I saw there was also of the same mind that I was. He's not going to give me drugs. Now, if it's just a single incident, and you shouldn't, he's like, if I gave you drugs now, there's a possibility it could throw you into a seizure. So, I remembered him telling me that. So when this doctor started talking about diagnosing me through the use of drugs, I was like, how the hell can you do that when the drugs can possibly throw me into a seizure even if I'm not epileptic? It doesn't make any sense. So, I was adamantly against it. And so he went ahead with a sleep-deprived EEG, which, came back normal. In his eyes, it was normal, but, I would have gotten a baseline reading from my brain versus, just straight hooking me up into the jack and, go to recording. I'm a natural insomniac. There's times when I don't sleep for days, so, a little 24-hour sleep deprivation for me isn't shit, and, I already kind of operate at a higher frequency than most because, I meditate a lot, and I'm just on a different level than most spiritually as far as that is concerned, and vibrationally. So it's, you can't. So what will be normal for some might not be normal for me. Some people's brain frequency on a normal day might be, within a certain frequency. Okay. Mine, because of my brain activity and the way I'm thinking and the way my life is lived spiritually and physically, my brain is going to operate different. Okay, I'm going to have a different frequency that I'm aware of than others. I'm going to think differently than others. Other parts of my brain are engaged. So my brainwave frequencies aren't necessarily to be trusted in when it just comes to hooking me into an EEG. You really got to know who I am as far as my brainwaves are concerned on a normal basis before you can go about saying what's normal. So anyway, my neurologist had done a sleep-deprived EEG. It came back normal. I went ahead and agreed to take some medication, more or less to appease him than anything. But I had already told him, because I've been a prior advocate of the use of marijuana towards epileptics or any other illness or disease that could benefit from its use. So in the back of my mind, I already knew that I was going to be getting medical marijuana, regardless of what they had given me. And he ended up giving me Keppra. Now, I went home and I always do my research on any medications that I take. And when I read the side effects and the way that it made, people feel by reading reviews or going into groups on social media and hearing what people have to say about Keppra, there's no way I could take something like that. There's just absolutely no way. There is still, all the side effects were anywhere from complete and utter irritability and rage to, depression and, utter suicidal thoughts, and everything that I read was nightmare after nightmare. Now, granted, I pay attention to the good side effects too. I didn't just hear the bad, I looked at the good, but based on what I'm seeing, the majority of people who have taken it and are off of it, it's probably a good thing that I never take it at all. And people were talking about how they could just stare at a tree and suddenly want to cry, and for no absolute reason. This is people that haven't had any kind of a history of depression or mental illnesses or bipolarism or depression, whatever. And so I'm like, there's no way. I mean, I took a number of medications throughout the years, and for depression and for the PTSD in general, it's like depression, insomnia, anxiety. I took Restoril for insomnia and Xanax for anxiety. I took a number of different things before I finally landed the antidepressant medication that I can handle with my body. That took about a year to figure out. That was a nightmare. And I'm not about to go through that with epileptic medicine at all. I'm not doing it. So, I told him flat out that I would be looking into medical marijuana. He kind of scoffed a little bit at that, but any doctor in the American industry of the medicine is most likely going to scoff at it because it kind of takes money out of their pocket, and it's reduces your visit, which reduces their wallet. So it's how you want to see it. Are you wanting to heal yourself, or are you wanting to just mask the effects of the disease, or what, I don't know what the case may be, but whatever, you get it. Natural is always best, always, no matter what. So of course I'm going to go with medical marijuana and CBD before I even think about some man-made medicine. And however, that's not to say that I'm against taking medication. I'm not. If it works and it helps you, then do it. Don't stop taking it because you hear something bad about it, but it might be working for you. Keep taking your medication. Turns out one of the biggest reasons that people die from SUDEP is because of not taking their medication. They don't remember to take their medication as an epileptic because of what's happening inside their brain. Their memory loss is, substantial. The fuzziness, the confusion, it can really kind of mess with your ability to remember a few things depending on the severity of your epilepsy. So, just take your medication. No matter what it is, something is better than nothing. And I would rather have something than nothing, especially if SUDEP is very likely to occur with you. So I will document the best that I can. The process of obtaining your medical marijuana. In this instance, I will try to do it from a point of view as a person with PTSD as well as epilepsy, but I will probably gear it more to the epilepsy now that I am personally dealing with this. Because it's consuming me. It's consuming my thoughts, it's consuming my actions and day-to-day routines, and I'm slowly feel like I'm fading away. There's little bits like I'm having to kill on my own to adapt to this disease, or the disease is consuming certain aspects of me. And it's happening fast because my seizures are progressing. And it's Tuesday. I had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday where I had seizures. Ever since I've been experiencing this, I have not had 3 days where, back to back, where I've been seizuring or however you explain it. I've been seizuring, and then yesterday I had my the arms, my arm seizing and the uncontrolled hand movements and loss of control or loss of the ability to hold anything. So which I've been experiencing a lot the past week and a half, is the dropping things. I was in the store the other day and I dropped my wallet 4 times. And then I dropped my umbrella like 3 times in the same store. Eventually I had to tell the guy, look, I was just diagnosed epileptic, and this is embarrassing, I'm sorry. I'd rather him think that than me him thinking that I was like drunk or fucked up on drugs or something. So I'd rather just go out and say, okay, I'm not epileptic, you'll have to forgive me. I'm just kidding. But if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? But anyway, so back to the medical marijuana. I will do what I can, as best as I can, to document things for anybody that might want to know how it's done, what to expect, who to go to. I will tell you who I am going to. I'm going to Doc MJ for a number of reasons, and I'll go into that more in another video. But for now, this is just a start. This is my first video, and I'm going to try and make a habit of this because I need to document everything. And the way I feel is I feel very alone in this. It's very depressing. I'm doing my best to stay strong and adapt and to move forward. It can be difficult when your whole day is kind of a whole, like a seizure all day, it's almost kind of how it is. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, I'm alone in this, I feel like, and I have people around me, but the reaction has been somewhat cold and lack of empathy and sympathy, should I say. It's like, do I literally got to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer or a brain tumor and, start having chemo and a bald head for you to maybe like something's wrong with me and that I'm sick or something, or I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's just, dude, I can be here now, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be here 10 minutes from now. And you know, when people are diagnosed with cancer, you know, people tend to change their reaction and the way they are around that person. And it's like, that hasn't happened as far as this epilepsy is concerned. And it's like, hey, why do y'all people think I'm okay? Why? I mean, is it because I'm not fucking acting sick or acting slow and acting, you know, retarded or whatever? Or, you know, what is it? Why would it be any different? This disease kills more than, you know, cancer does anyway. So why, you know, why should it be any different? Why should I be treated as if I'm okay when I'm not? Now, I'm not asking for sympathy, but I'm not, you know, because I don't want your sympathy. I don't want anybody's sympathy. It's not about a reaction that I'm expecting. It's just about basic human decency and kindness towards one another, especially when they're sick or when they're ill or when there's a possibility that they might die and that they might not be here for you to talk to tomorrow. You know, some people tend to, you know, maybe I should talk to them a little more than what I have been, or, you know, maybe I should come and visit that guy, or maybe I should, you know, take him out for a beer, something, anything, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not that I want to go out for a beer or anything, but it's, you know, it's, you know, when I was in the hospital, you know, nobody came and visited me. Other than my wife and my kids, and nobody sent me flowers, nobody sent me a card, nobody like called to check up on me or anything. I mean, it's like, what the hell planet am I on to where I'm invisible? Yeah. Why am I invisible? Why? I don't know. It hurts. It hurts though. So, you know, and I, you know, when I talk to other people in some social media groups about this, as far as the epilepsy is concerned, it's like, I'm not the only one. And I'm like, really? So there's just more fucked up people out there other than the people that I know? Well, fuck, man, that's just, you know, that's wrong. You know, what we're going through is fucked up enough as it is. The last thing that we need to feel is alone. And they don't understand that. Nobody understands that. Because it's not talked about. Maybe if epilepsy was talked about as much as breast cancer, or cancer, or AIDS, HIV, whatever, maybe people would react a little differently. Maybe people would respond and adjust a little differently to those that are around them that have this disease. Yes, it's common. Yes, it's not rare. You know, millions of people have it, but it's also one of the biggest killers. You know? So it's difficult to deal with. Nobody wants to have somebody that they love have a disease. Nobody wants to deal with negativity, or, you know, the fact that somebody's sick, or the fact that they might have to help them, assist them in some way. But, you know, God forbid you have to be human, for fuck's sake. You know, who knows? Don't live in the times that we used to, and I'm not sure if we're going to ever get back to a time when there's basic human decency in the world anymore. you don't see it. All the world is filled with hate. Hate, and it's just, you know what, I don't have time to sit here and focus on that hate. I got enough damn problems as it is. And yeah, I thought school alone was difficult. Yeah, but now God has decided to place this epilepsy in my lap to like make it more difficult. Thank God it's not beating me yet. It's not going to beat me. I'm not going to let it beat me, but you know, it hasn't affected my schoolwork yet. I'm still maintaining an AB average. It's slipped a little bit the past month. Maybe because of the epilepsy, maybe because of the subject matter. Doesn't really matter. It's, yeah, I'm doing the best that I can. So, and I'm making an A, and I'm making B's. So I'm good. I can't really complain outside of that. I'm alive. Today I am seizure free. It's July 17th, 2018. So far, I'm seizure free. I'm a little sick today. I had a little fever. I'm not sure why, but I don't feel so great today, but I haven't had a seizure, and I will take a little fever and a little sickness over a seizure any day. So I'm happy, even though I'm sick and I don't care. But so I will do what I can to document my life with this disease from the beginning, and you know, treatment processes, my own knowledge, research, and theories about this disease and what have you. So you know, hopefully the videos will get better. I'm a little unprepared. I just kind of wanted to jump in and start. And I've been putting it off for about a week, so I just wanted to jump in and start. Hopefully this works out and it helps a lot of people. I'm in school to be a doctor and want to be in the medical industry, and I've always wanted to help people, and I've always been somewhat of a healer. So I'm doing my best to do that, and knowledge is power. So, you know, all we can do is spread the knowledge and spread the power and hope for the best and take it day by day. All right, so take care, be blessed. One love.